Today is the National Day of Action for First Nations in Canada. The day aims to raise awareness about poverty and injustice in First Nations communities. Organizers here in Thunder Bay marked the day with a walk through the city. But one of the participants in the procession had taken many more footsteps than the others. He's walked here from St. Catharines in southern Ontario and is on his way to Pickle Lake and beyond. The CBC's Jody Porter met up with the man of many steps, and she joins us now in the studio. Hi.
Hi, Gerald.
Who is this guy?
Well, his Anishinaabe name is Pakane, or Grasshopper. That's the name he goes by, but his English name is Stephen Baranier. He's 31 years old. His home community is Serpent River First Nation, but right now he lives in St. Catharines. That's where he started his walk on May 3rd. Pakane caught my attention today because he was draped in the distinctive Kitchener-Magoo-Sib-In-Innuwug flag. It's blue and green and yellow with a big trout on it. And as it turns out, that flag is covered in signatures and well wishes for the community from all across the province.
Wow, so he's gathered them then.
He's gathered them all along his journey, and he plans to deliver the flag to the people in KI once he finishes his journey on foot to Pickle Lake and then flies up from there.
Boy, do you have good shoes on?
He did, yes.
What prompted such a long journey?
Well, he knew the story of Mark Anderson. He's the 62-year-old from KI who had walked from Pickle Lake to Toronto last year. Mark's journey was to raise awareness about the troubles the community is having with mineral exploration on its traditional territory. And then Pakane says he had a dream of exactly how to do a reverse walk from southern Ontario to KI and how that could unfold. Pakane says all the things in his dream began falling into place to make the walk possible for him, and he knew he had to make the journey.
He sounds like, from what you've told me, he sounds like a unique, a very unusual character, Jody. What did he tell you about his journey?
Well, he really is remarkable, Gerald. He's got a very peaceful presence about him. We sat down at a picnic table in Marina Park, and you'll hear some of the construction noises in the background in a minute. Pakane told me he's been sharing goose feathers with the people he meets along the way. He says the goose has a lot to teach us right now, like this teaching about why geese fly in a V.
You know, every single one of those geese are leaders. You know, they're all good leaders because they know when to follow and they know when to lead. And when that front goose takes the brunt of that headwind long enough and gets tired, they go to the easiest spot in the V, and the next goose takes over. And they don't ask, well, how much do I get now for being the lead goose, or what's in it for me. It's about we, and that's the reward. We safely get to our next place, and to get food, raise our children, and whatnot. I think it's important that we all emulate that and teach our children that we're all leaders, and that you do it from your heart, and don't set any conditions on that kind of giving. It's unconditional love, unconditional giving.
Wonderful words. How does he see all this, though, Jody, fitting into the mining dispute with Kitchener-Magoo-Sib-In-Innuwug? Where does that come in?
Well, with family connections to Serpent River near Elliott Lake, Pakane says he's seen firsthand the health and environmental effects of mining. But he's also got an interesting perspective on how this dispute is unfolding, on the role of the players in it, the government and the mining company, Platinex.
I was sent soil from KI. That was another thing I saw in my dream, and I stopped at Queen's Park and rubbed soil in the steps of them and prayed for their clarity and understanding to begin that journey from their head to their heart. I prayed for that's the political system. I prayed at Platinex and did the same. I rubbed dirt from KI and the Mother Earth soil in their step and prayed for that as well for them. I called them too and left a message on their answering machine thanking them and said, I love you and thank you. And, you're all good teachers. And that's all I said. Because it's kind of like the Hayoka of the Lakota people. The Hayoka was the one individual who would do everything opposite of the teachings on purpose to show that, yes, we have free will. You can do anything you want. You can make any choice, but the teachings and the traditions are here to show us, these kind of ways that work best to sustain life. But you can do it another way, but look at the hardships you encounter. So it's like, this political, legal, and corporate system. They're our Hayoka. They're showing us how far off the path we are now as human beings, and that they're forcing us to dig deeper inside to find a peaceful way to deal with it, together.
He does sound like a very unique person, really neat perspective there too. So now that the leaders are out of jail, is he going to keep walking?
Well, he says he will. Some ladies from Kitchener-Megusa, Binnenwug flew to Pickle Lake and then walked as far as White River before they met up with Pakenay, coming from the opposite direction. Then they turned around and continued this way with him. They're starting the journey to Pickle Lake tomorrow. Then, because there are no more roads after Pickle Lake, they'll fly to KI and walk from the airport to the band office there. Pakenay says he feels it's important to complete the journey he saw in his dream, and says the mining dispute isn't over even though the leaders are out of jail. He plans to hang that flag with all the signatures in the band office when he gets there. So, Gerald, I hope to keep in touch with him and let you know when he makes it.
Yeah, I was going to ask you to do that. Quite the man. Jody, thanks for telling us about him today.
All right.
CBC reporter Jody Porter.